So thank you so much, ladies, joining this conversation, this panel discussion, and as we are heading towards International Women's Day, um, I'm so glad to have this particular conversation with this small panel of women leaders. Um, Dr. Lulwal Mutlaq from Bahrain, who is a academician and training expert, training and development expert. Mrs. Sunita Maheshwari, who is the CA and financial guide to most of the businesses and help businesses to understand and manage finance the way their business growth demands. And Professor Sasmita Samant, who is basically a serial entrepreneur, as well as she's a seasoned academician, and coming from Odisha, and have been the face of education success story in that part of India. So with this small panel, I must thank all the panelists, and would be excited to have your views, because Women's International Women's Day is critical till since we have been talking about economic growth. We are talking about the India 3.0 or India 4.0. The journey would not be complete if we do not include, or if we do not acknowledge the success of women leaders. My personal opinion is slightly different. My personal opinion goes that uh, economic success, or any success is not complete if we don't acknowledge the contribution of women. um, it is not just about women entrepreneurship. It is about how you are acknowledging the success around you. So with this particular view, I must open this panel discussion, and I would like to start with uh, Sasmita ma'am, and then Sunita ma'am, and Dr. Lulwa, then with brief pointer of the how, basically, how does the empowering of women economically contribute to the overall economic growth and development. So with this first point, I would like to hear from Sasmita ji first, how she feels as a, because in her initial roles, she has been working, and working in a in establishing a leading university, the K University. So how she look at the empowered women contributing into the overall economic growth.
Thank you, Faiz. And I would like to congratulate each one of the women in this world for their outstanding contribution for the growth and development of this world. And I can say that growth and development of the humanity. Because if we see the contribution of women in each and every sector today, if we are taking the accounts, I hope that since the beginning of this world, that contribution has continued. And many a times it has been acknowledged, and many times it has not been acknowledged. Whether acknowledged or not acknowledged, at no point of time, I think there is any dispute by the women that yes, they have contributed. Maybe because of that, today, while we talk about inclusive development, while we talk about the equality in this world, maybe the gender is coming for the consideration. And if the women perhaps would have stood for themselves from the beginning, maybe today we would not have discussed this on the Women's Day. That in that perspective, I would like to say. And coming to the economic growth and development, when we talk about development, I think it has several sectors. It is the intellectual development, social development, moral development, and economic development. And whenever human being is born, what I have read somewhere in Veda and some mythologies, when a person is born, they are having certain aspiration for the growth and development. When a child is being born, we see that in first 1 month, he creates the curiosity to look around him. Maybe he wants to learn that what the environment looks like. And we know that when a child moves her or his eyes in and around, he or she slowly looks around the world. And after that, slowly, automatically, if anyone is helping or not helping, that child starts crawling, then walking, then running, speaking, and everything happens automatically because of the strong inspiration from inside to learn the world. What we normally say that these are the worldly knowledge. When a child is born, slowly that aspiration comes from within. And when a child is reaching at the age of 4 or 5, slowly they grow the aspiration to enrich themselves intellectually. Enrich themselves intellectually. First, while we talk about intellectual, first comes the worldly knowledge. Second comes the internal knowledge. What we talk about, um, um, either we talk about spiritualism or we talk about from where really we have come and what to know about our own origin. That comes maybe at the age of 12, 13, like that. So when a woman also is growing, the same thing is happening with her. When a woman is growing, first she is trying to strengthen herself with the physical strength, then it is coming to the worldly knowledge, the intellectual strength, then inner strength. And while the woman is growing slowly, she wants to contribute for the world. And when a person starts contributing for the world, whether it is being counted, converted as the economic activities or non-economic activities, anyway, it is contributing for the growth of the economy. And if today we take the, I can say that participation of the women in economic activity, I think if we go to the lower strata of the society, at lower strata of the society, I think more and more women are engaged in economic activity. If we take the agricultural sector, we take the construction sector, we take the labor sector, at that point of time, we see that more than 50% participation is there from the women. Any sector we take in the lower strata of the society. And while we come, slowly we grow and we take one by other sectors, like I have contributed in education for 27 years, and that sector is also dominated by women. If you see the education sector, in education sector, the health sector, it is predominantly dominated by the women. It is teaching, health, or anything else. And while so many sectors are dominated by the women, why today we have to discuss about the women participation in academic activities? Yes, if we take maybe a holistic approach, we find that maximum 35% women are contributing directly for the economic activities, which is in the organized sector. But if we maybe the unorganized sector, we have not taken into account. There are many reasons behind this. One reason I would like to say that whenever the institutions have been built up, while we talk about organized sector, then institution comes in front. And while we have built up an institution in this world, maybe the perspective of the women have not been taken into consideration. While I talk about structured economy, then institution come. While institution come, then its policies, processes, systems, strategies come into place. And when those policies, processes, systems, and strategies have been built up, the perspective of the women have not been taken into consideration. Or I can say that it is mostly, if I take the gender perspective, it is mostly the male dominated policies and processes, because maybe while slowly in this world the institutions have been built up, in the boardroom very few women were there or nobody was there. So that perspective has not been taken into consideration.
Hmm.
And I hope that today, if I say this country has been led by two great women, as the president, first was the Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, then now we are having Madam Draupadi Murmu as our honorable president, and we have been ruled by one woman prime minister, maybe many honorable Indira Gandhi ji, or maybe many developed countries till now they have not done it. Many developed countries nowadays they are aspiring to have one woman leader to lead their country, but this country has demonstrated to the world that how this largest democracy
Hmm.
is being led by the women and how successful it is happening in different forums.
नहीं, तो
So I hope that maybe
नहीं,
in the next
absolutely.
round I will be speaking a
Yes.
lot, but this is enough for this
No,
opening
definitely,
word.
definitely. Since in the
Thank
interest
you.
of time, also, and I would, like to come to uh, Sunita Maheshwari ji for her input on this point, as well as I would also like to know from her because she's also accustomed with initiatives and how women leadership is actually getting empowered or taking shape in today's corporate culture. So, ma'am, how do you like your opinion on how does empowering women economically contribute to the overall economic growth and development? And then, if you can also briefly touch upon the initiatives that effectively can empower women, which are existing in today's scenario in India.
I would like to take the second question first,
So,
as by, and this is in continuation to what Mr. Smita said.
yes.
And since she's been running a university as well, so I remember. So I'm about 50 years, and when I went to school, and when I was young, my parents never discriminated between children. So we are two sisters and a brother, and we all three of us went to the same school. And obviously college was different because college there are only girls colleges and boys college. So at college we were in different colleges. But what I firmly believe is this discussion today is happening because of the social culture, because of the education system that has been got inbuilt into our mindset, into each individual's mindset, be it a boy or a girl, that they have been made for a particular purpose. They have not been imbibed with that thought process that everybody is equal. Each is born with its, like Sashmita ma'am was saying, so there is an inbuilt capability that each person is born with. So it necessarily does not classify as a female capability or a male capability, except obviously for the childbearing capability that women have. But otherwise, it's more to do with the strength that a person is born with. And if that individual is given that freedom to exercise that capability to build upon it and really do well in and progress in that area, I think we would not need to actually discuss about this topic, that there needs to be women empowerment. So it is at the grassroots level that education system needs to change, both within a family system and within the schools and colleges, where more than the girls, the boys need to be emphasized, that they need to treat the other gender as
Absolutely.
equals with maybe different capability sets, but
Mm,
definitely they have a lot more to contribute than
absolutely.
what they are currently being acknowledged for.
Mhm.
So, because what I feel is, if there is so much outroar or there's so much hue and cry about talking about programs and policies being laid out specifically only directed towards women,
Mm,
then are we really looking at another uh, gender bias,
mm,
wherein men start to feel, why is there only Women's Day? Why is there, only talk about women empowerment? Why not men? So why are there talk of only women specific policies? So when there are events, why are there only women specific events or all events rather than only men events? I mean,
mhm.
maybe only pubs or bars, but otherwise, when we talk of business events, they would be specifically only women events, or they would be all. I mean, you're not even mentioning when there is all gender event.
Hmm.
So that mindset needs to change. I think that's what needs to happen, and that can only happen when the grassroots level education policies undergo. It's not just the policy. I mean, the government has a very subsidiary role to play.
Hmm.
It's more of the family mindset that needs to
And the
change. It's
social outlook and
the parents need to understand, they need to imbibe in their daughters and their sons as well,
hmm.
that both have an equal role to play in the society. They need to play on their strengths, develop their strengths, and accordingly go about the responsibilities that they have to fulfill towards society for the purpose that they've come into this world. So I think uh, whatever policy programs that the government can put into place, until unless they are, uh, when people start to feel about them actually, because one is enforcement. You can't really enforce policies on people till they start to actually believe in them. So
Hmm.
the belief can only come with education. Nothing else. I believe nothing else will work.
No, thank you so much for this very insightful and very critical thinking over the subject. I agree to a greater extent with you. And, Dr. Lulwa is with us. So, ma'am, from you, I would, since you are in the training and development, stream. So, how do you see that access of education? Because you're also like, since we are, all of us except you are from India, and you are from the Middle East region. How do you see access to education and skill development is influencing the woman, especially with respect to the development, with respect to the economic empowerment of the overall society? So please, you're on mute, ma'am. Can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to be just one of the panelists in this very fruitful discussion. And I would like to congratulate everyone, every woman and men also about the International Women Day, because I believe that men has a big role also in supporting and encouraging women to take a part of of the economy, of developing the economy. I'm just coming from educational background and human development background. So I would like just really to emphasize the fact that the woman empowerment is a journey. Okay, where to start with the self-development? If the woman didn't take the advantage of her life and start developing her skills, knowledge, and attitude towards awareness of her roles, nothing will happen. They are saying that woman is a half of the community, but I'm saying she is more, because she is raising and developing the other part of the community, who are the men, which is just children. When they just she's a mother, she is a sister, she is a cousin, aunt, and so on. So this is very important to look at the woman empowerment as a journey. It starts with the woman herself and how she looks at at her responsibility on developing herself and developing others. Woman start with developing her children, then she goes out to the work, developing her colleagues, developing her friends, and just and try just to contribute and change the mindset about that woman as just always for certain jobs, for certain occupations, not for everything. I think the woman has a great role in emphasizing the gender equality, emphasizing an environment of free of bias, free of stereotype, free of or free of anything that may affect the woman being just a successful partner in the just you know and the world. in the world of work as well, or and any organization that she is working on. I believe that education and the human development is the really a focus, or it is a core for developing women. If we are just, if I'm looking at Bahrain, we are not talking anymore about women empowerment. We are talking about women advancement, because a lot of efforts has been done on empowering women and making her advance to higher level. We do have just ambassador, we have a minister woman, and we have just all directors, under secretaries, just most of the positions of that in organizations and in the government has been occupied by women. And just we are really really proud of that. And also, I came from educational background. I came from business background, banking and finance. I have worked, believing that I can make a change. And I just always work as a change agent. When I went to any environment and any organization, I really do a certain change. So I'm just saying here that we need to raise awareness about the role of women in the community, role of women and being an important partner in her life and lives of others. Also, we need really to highlight and just share success stories about women, how they empower themselves, how they develop themselves, how they advance to high level, and how they become what they become. So this is this is will show that we are with women, rather than just we are saying that women cannot be anywhere. I just, Bahrain is very, very advanced in looking at the issues of women and developing them. I'm sure that the Gulf, it differ from just, a country to country, but just, we have really just, work hard into establishing ourselves, and the government also give us, our government give us, the support and the encouragement to be where we are now. I think this is something that make us proud of ourselves, where we get and where we are right now. And also, just we have a voice for a woman in Bahrain. So women talk, woman as a writer, woman is as just all position and all what she would like to. And the men also, they are very supportive of women. I just, I'm sure that even India is a big country, okay, but I saw a lot of women examples who are really dig their way up, and they are just, representing women in a very good faith and a good way, that we are proud of them. So women empowerment, women advancement is something that just, that's something that we are need to continue developing and continue looking at, as it is our journey. It is our just, a flag that we have to raise and say, woman is here, and woman is just, keep developing and developing others.
Perfect. Thank you for this very insightful. We have Professor Sasmita, and I wanted to, because you have a diverse experience of an academician as well as a entrepreneur who has been phenomenally doing good. So I would like to know from you about the financial inclusion part and access, or access to capital. When we actually talk about women led or women advancement, like Dr. Lulva pointed out, very right term. And when we talk about women led businesses coming up in a big number, how do you see as a woman entrepreneur in accessing capital, in managing capital? I personally, I know you're very good at it, but although you might not say that you are good, but as compared to other women um, business owners, or maybe business owners in general, the understanding of finance is new is very good. And but how do you look at the existing financial system? And this question will also be to Sunita ma'am, because she's smiling because she's been, the one who is really exclusive in that direction. That I mean, she helped a lot of businesses in not just educating them from the financial nuances, but also helping them in accessing that, and really. So, Professor Sasmita, from you, I would like to know about the financial inclusion part for women, and how do you see the system behaving for a woman entrepreneur when access to capital is getting discussed?
Yes. When we talk about women empowerment or women advancement, I think we have already discussed that education plays a major role. Ma'am has already said. And while we say that education plays a major role, I think education is empowering the woman. Without education, I think no woman in this world can do any type of advancement, because we all know that the real power inside a woman is the intellect. While we talk about the success of any woman, then intellect come first. So education is empowering the women to advance in their lives. But here I can say that while we say that education is the key driver for women empowerment,
Hmm.
I think technology is the key enabler,
Hmm.
because today women are self-sufficient to come out from their home, or they are able to contribute from their home only because of the technology. Maybe 20 years back, 30 years back, while any woman was trying to be self-sustainable, perhaps they didn't have that level of infrastructural facilities to support one woman.
Hmm.
Maybe that was the major hindrance why women were not able to come out from their home. It can be the transportation, it can be the communication, it can be the IT, it can be anything. But today the women are able to come out from the home and contribute in education, in business, and technology. Anywhere it is because of the technology only. It has eased their lives. It has eased
Hmm.
their lives and given them the power to contribute.
Hmm.
And while we talk about financial inclusion, yes, in this country, if we see the enrollment of women entrepreneurs in Ministry of Corporate Affairs, whatever the statistics says that enrollment is much more enrollment is by the women entrepreneurs. If we see the startup owners, more and more startup owners are, because the girls are coming for the startups.
Hmm.
More and more, many number of girls are coming from the startups. And if we see the category of the activities the girls are coming, if we keenly observe this, we see that it's related to knowledge, it related to fashion, it is related to, I can say that, which adds values to the lives.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe the value-based enterprises, mostly
Hmm.
wherever the women entrepreneurs are coming to the forefront.
Hmm.
And coming to the capital access, yes, we see that in last 1 decade, number of women in boardrooms have increased.
Hmm.
If the statistics says that today it's only one for
Hmm.
each company, for each enterprises, maybe in one board, one woman is there. That sort of statistics we are having, but I am very much hopeful that maybe in coming days, more and more women entrepreneurs will be coming to the boardrooms. More and more women will be coming to the boardroom. Then only we can say that we can bring equality to the society.
Hmm.
Because while we talk about institution, I think till the moment one institution does not represent the mix of the society, the whole mix of the society, till that moment that institution cannot be 100% social relevant institution. Today, while we talk about business, mostly previously we are saying that business is for the profit, but today we all understand that each one of the institution, business organization, is a social organization. They are
Hmm.
contributing for the growth of a certain region in the society. They are they are contributing for a purpose in the society. And anyway, it is contributing either to ease the lives or to provide services to somebody. It is providing the care for the somebody. In some way, it is adding values to the society. So in that way, I think the inclusion of the women in entrepreneurship, in education, in business, In skill development, education is now, I can say that if you see the gross enrollment ratio in schools and colleges, always the ratio of girls are much more than the boys, and
Mm.
it is increasing. If you see the toppers in all the universities and the schools, maybe the girls' percentage, though the formal data is not available, being in academics, I can say that it's more than 70%. All the toppers in the universities, colleges, schools, mostly the girls are there. So that when the girls have made their remarkable presence, even if with so much of social restrictions and insecurities in and around them, if a
Mm.
little bit of consciousness is coming to the society about the equality, about the, I can say that they will value the presence of the girls and women in the society and the organization. I think girls can do much better. Girls can do much better naturally, because I have seen and I have got the opportunity to interact with many tribal people, many indigenous people, those who normally live in the forest. They are much away from the social mainstream. And if
Mm.
we keenly observe those women, how really they contribute, how they really contribute for the family, for the society, we see that in those that group, always the woman is the leader of the family. Always the woman is the good communicator in the family. Boys, normally they are not the leader in the family, in the tribal and the indigenous community. It's quite natural. I was teaching in the tribal university in Kes, and in the class I find that the girls are much more active because they come
Mm.
from the age of 4,
Mm.
they live
Mm.
in a natural environment, they grow naturally. If you see the natural instinct of the woman, maybe they're intellectually strong and they are the strong communicator. So
Mm.
that makes the differences. And I hope that if little bit of consciousness and the social security system is emphasized, I
Mm.
don't think that sort of reservations, facilities, maybe reservations can give them much more facilities to certain people to grow, or it will be solve the problem in much easier or in a faster rate.
Mm.
That can be, because as I said that any institution, it should be the like representation of the society. If in the society 50% men, 50% women ideally are existing,
Mm.
everywhere that sort of presence should be there to have idealistic situation or the social presence there itself.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I think in the after this Women's Day, we are very much hopeful that the growth of women empowerment, as ma'am is saying, from empowerment, we are going for the advancement. Or
Yes.
growth of women advancement is so fast. Maybe after some time, as Faiz is saying that men will be scared that how their place will be protected. I was discussing with my one of the colleagues, time is running, before 2 3 days. His uncle was in the hospital,
Mm.
and in Odisha, there is one health card where
Mm.
males are covered for 5 lakhs rupees, women are
Mm.
covered for 10 lakhs rupees.
Oh.
And his uncle was admitted in the hospital, and when 5 lakhs was exhausted, there is a process of putting a petition and increasing the value. But they denied that for the boys, from 5 lakhs, we cannot increase. This facility is for the women, and for the women, we can increase up to 10 lakhs. And that is valid for the women only. So he was saying that now women are much privileged. I said, till now you are privileged for 1,000 years. If women are privileged only for 5 years, why are you so scared? So maybe certainly
No,
the women will
absolutely.
grow and everybody will be having an equal place and equal
Yeah.
equity in the society.
Opportunities.
That will be ideal situation for
Yeah,
this world.
definitely
Yes.
very valid points. I have, some other slightly interesting, observation, but I would like to know this financial inclusion part from Sunita ma'am. How, like, she is an entrepreneur herself and managing, and she understands the nuances of finance as well as an expert. So, how, ma'am, how do you look at this whole ecosystem from the perspective of women entrepreneur, or access to capital for a woman? So how do you look at the scenario?
So, while a lot is being done by the government of India to promote women entrepreneurship or financial inclusion, as you may say, when what do we understand by the term financial inclusion? It means like putting some money in the hands of women. So that could be done in two ways. One way is giving them freebies, Like there are women accounts in which monthly amount is put in, which a woman is free to spend for herself or for her family as the need arises. Uh, but that's only a very small part of what a woman really looks for. I think it's not more about freebies, it's more about enabling them so that they can earn a honorable livelihood, so that they can take care of their families, be it by doing a job or by becoming an entrepreneur. So one is by freebies, the other is by enabling them to be able to earn a decent life for themselves. So having said that, for ages, what I've been seeing for the last 15 years, I've been practicing as a chartered accountant. And I see a lot of women who come to visit me to take advice around how to start a business, what to do, how to do, and stuff like that. And incidentally, even men, obviously, when this is the age of startups, and men also come for advice when they are at the peak of their careers and they want to leave their jobs and they want to start a business. They come to us for advice as to what are the what preparation should they have in mind, how should they prepare for an entrepreneurship life.
That means many people are there like me.
So the first question that we ask them is your spouse? So here I'm talking about both men and women. So whether it is a man who's coming to us for an advice on how to start a business or what are the points that they should keep in mind before they really jump into this entrepreneurship role. So whether it's a man or a woman, we tell them, is your spouse ready for this? This is a very, very difficult journey. The journey of an entrepreneur is going to be very difficult because if you have been in job for a long, long time, becoming an entrepreneur is not easy because you'll have to leave aside that ease of mind that you're going to get a fixed amount of money into your bank account every month. That is not going to be there. So is your spouse prepared to support you? So that is the financial inclusion that we are talking about. So uh, in India, I do not know about other countries, but during demonetization, so there was a lot of talk around women accumulated wealth getting discovered by men in their houses. So that's how women were saving for crisis periods. So it's not that they were saving for spending on themselves. That's how they were saving, but they were not investing because of the fear of that money getting discovered by men in the family. But now when they get to earn, when it's their earned money, then they know how to use that money, whether it is for the benefit of the family, whether they need to spend it on themselves or they want to make investments. Talking of investments, it's very, very interesting to note when I talk to a lot of women who come for advice, they have so little knowledge about managing their finances because like it's always been like my father has been managing it for me or my husband or very rarely brothers, but mostly it's either the father or the husband who's managing the financial affairs for them. Hence they're not sure how to be able to manage the financial aspect of their businesses. So more than really more than educating them or making finance available to women, it's more about educating them as to how to manage their financial affairs in a business sense. I mean, they've been managing their family affairs in a very, very efficient way for ages to come. But when it comes to investments, their tax savings, and their business affairs, they're a little lost. It's not they do not know, but because they've not been empowered enough during their entire growth period, they're not confident enough to handle their finance in their business. So that's the primary experience that I've been having over the years. And I feel so sad to look at them that, man, you're educated enough, you should be able to understand this aspect of it. But because they're not used to it, so they've not been doing it. Having said that, but yes, we have enough women employees in our organization who really know how they, when they're going to get their salary and how they're going to spend, how they're going to distribute the entire pay into part of savings, part of investments, and how they're going to, save for future. So I believe while so many schemes are available for making capital available to women entrepreneurs in specific, Uh, I don't think that an investor or a lender really looks at whether it's a woman or a man who's doing the business. If it's a woman, he's not going to deny um, capital, or if it's a man, he's going to give an extra advantage. From a lender's perspective, I don't think that's the case, because we've seen enough lenders giving capital to women as well, even though they may not be women specific schemes. But yes, definitely it gives them an added advantage wherein women do not seem to get promoted in the private sector. Then government schemes definitely give them that edge of making capital available. Having said that, it's more of their confidence that will matter, and that is what will enable capital coming to them automatically if they have a good business idea and they are more confident of how they're going to handle their business affairs. Because and finance being a very very critical element in every kind of business, so it's more about financial education rather than making finance available to them. That's the key in
Perfect.
any policy of
Hmm.
financial inclusion for women.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. Again, detailed and insightful. In the interest of time, I would just very quickly, Dr. Lulwa, has something to add on this from the perspective of the financial inclusion part, how this is taking shape. Because in Middle East also, women-led businesses and like the that sector is actually talking about women advancement, which is a very positive thing. So, how do you see the financial inclusion part taking care of women entrepreneurs, Dr. Lulwa? In a like in the interest of time, if we can limit your response in 2 minutes. You're need to
You're
unmute.
on mute.
Sorry. Thank you very much for these questions. Financial inclusion is something very important at our country. There is a great support for the women who is just running the business. They give women advantage over men with giving just some percentage discount on the interest from the banks. And the banks, like 3 4 banks, are really competing on giving a woman a better rate and just on loan than just than men entrepreneurs or businessmen. So most women is just when they started business or become just a business owner, they start just applying for that loans, okay, with a low interest loans. Also, just when it comes to credit cards, also there is also support for women also to get the credit cards for the business. And just financially there is a lot of just help and support from the banks, and from we have Bahrain Development Bank, and I'm sure that also you have developmental bank, and this development bank is really giving just support to women entrepreneurs, and trying just to help them as much as they can, and managing their finance. Also, we have a program from UNIDO. This program also help the entrepreneurs and the businessmen on just educating them and making them aware of how to run the business, how to deal with human resources, how to deal with marketing, sales, and so on. So this is also another just just venue in order just to make women aware of how to handle the business and how to handle the finance as well. So there is also chapters on finance and how to handle, how to write a business plan, how to make sure that pricing, how to price their products, how to make sure that they got good bottom line results from their business. So there is support for women, but just that's Bahrain women, just most of them are educated, and because we do have less than 2.4 illiteracy in our country. So they have been just going through a number of courses. We have 14 private universities, and we have one public just government universities, And most of these universities are providing banking and finance major, and just involve a lot of women on that major as well. So women just in this major as finance, banking and finance, they are just they like just the to pursue their career in banking and in finance. And we have also the accreditation on just like CMA, CFA. Also, women are just into that. So I feel just personally that we are still have just need to make more awareness on the financial inclusion, so women can get advantage, especially if they just starter of their business, advantage of all these financial support and financial uh, just assistance from the banks or from financial institutions, as well as from BDB, which is Bahrain Development Bank, or even from just any other financial sector.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for taking time out for this SME Street panel discussion. And just to reiterate, the commitment of our platform SME Street is dedicated towards the MSME development and the growth, economic growth, and enhancing the contribution of MSMEs in the overall goal of economic development and sustainable economic development. And in that commitment, women plays really important and very critical role. It's been 10 years. This year we are completing 10 year of our activities, of our existence. But
Congratulations.
initial 5 6 years we haven't started the women entrepreneurship related activities, and we haven't categorized something for the women empowerment kind of thing, especially empowerment, because I feel that I that's my personal thinking, and this thinking I absorbed from my grandmother, who always believed and at least taught us, the male childs of her family, that you have to respect women around you, who could be your sisters at that time, were sisters, my aunts, my mother, my grandmother, obviously. And so as a child, as a male child, we were being taught to do what all we are doing, whether we are staying at home or you playing, or maybe so, to behave in a way that your sisters, your you know aunts should feel comfortable, should feel happy. And that's the way you can contribute to an empowerment, to an empowered society. And when I um, you know when I advanced towards being a professional, then I started interacting with women colleagues. Then I have got a wife and two daughters. So fundamental applies even now, and will remain for my life. The idea is, we at SME Street also, we try to implement the same thing, that we cannot call women empowerment as a phenomena. We can call empowered society with a empowered women, and that's what we try to focus on, and we try to acknowledge that. So thank you so much, all of you, for taking time out. And we'll definitely look forward for more such activities, and the women led thinking is very, very critical for the overall economic empowerment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faiz
Thank
bhai.
you very much. Thank you for
Thank you,
inviting us.
Prashmita
Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you,
Faiz.
Lulwa ma'am. It was great
Thank you,
interacting.
dear. Great meeting you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.